P-A-S-C-A-L. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high, cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up weekdays. Catch us live, somebody, let's go.
Good evening, good morning, and good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys are all doing well out there, enjoying your day, making it wonderful. All right. And for those of y'all who are wrapping up your day like myself, you know, the day is over now. So hopefully you guys are doing some really amazing and dope things. And hopefully you ended the day in a positive note. All right. To be honest with you guys, I was going to do this as a pop-up video to do like as its own standalone piece. But there was something that was just kind of eating away at me, and I just felt like I needed to freestyle this one because this story really aggravates me more than you even know. More than you even know. Because there's an ongoing problem going on out here in this world that I feel like we talk about to a great extent. Okay. And I don't know. I felt like I wasn't going to be able to do it in one clean shot. And just the frustrations and the anger and the anger that I have revolving around this story just really it's more than I can even put into just one 10-minute video. So I felt like, you know what, I need to jump on this and talk with you guys about this, because let's be real. This is not the video itself, it's gone viral. People have been sharing it quite a bit. And of course, it's becoming very polarizing. People are starting to go on the political realm of it, trying to throw in their own bias, etc. And I don't want any of that. That's not what I'm here for. That's not what I'm here to talk about. But what I want to talk about is something more on the human level. We talked about it just a little bit ago, this morning when we were talking about the Abby Choi tragedy, her case out in Hong Kong, wondering what the hell is going on with people, right? And now, I mean, I'm not kidding. As soon as I got done with that show, I open up my phone and I see this story. And there's a lot of people that are sitting here going, this story can't be real. Well, I'm here to show you that it's real. And this really happened. This happened in my hometown. Yeah. This happened in my hometown. So I felt compelled to talk about it and say something and talk about it out loud. Because this kind of stuff needs to stop. I don't know what we need to do, but this kind of stuff needs to stop. Again, I get it. This isn't Idaho 4. I get it. This isn't Nicola Bully. This isn't some huge, gigantic story, but it's a story nonetheless that maybe if my words fall on the ears of the right people, maybe we can change something. And maybe it can change people's ideas or minds about running around here acting a damn fool with a doggone weapon in your hand. And maybe somehow we'll learn to love human life again, because it just doesn't seem like it exists anymore. And it's very, very frustrating. So I'm going to get into it. I know a lot of y'all are going, what the heck's going on? What happened? Why? So don't worry, I'm going to get into it. I promise you. But we got a little bit of housekeeping we got to do. All right. So do me a favor, because I have a feeling, this may not be the big story for a lot of people. So please hit that like button down below. Hopefully we can get this story out there to the right people, to the right ears, to the right listeners, because this matters. Or at least it should matter. Right? So hit that like button down below. Send it past 300 likes as you guys start to file in. And of course, do not forget to hit that subscribe button. You know your boy's working hard out here in these streets, and I talk about everything on this channel. Everything. Okay? Everything. So it'd be great to have you a part of the Pascal Show family. All right? But we got to get into some things. And this one, aggravates me because, again, how does this stuff consistently happen? We it seems like we can't go a day without some sort of chaos, without some sort of tragedy that has to do with some sort of firearm that's involved, right? And what really aggravates me, I mean, there's a lot of things that aggravate me about this particular story. But another part of it is how we are so disconnected because we have all turned into our own reality show cameraman, that we tend to forget that whatever we're capturing through our phones, right, through our little phones, that we are actually witnessing that in real life. That we didn't sign no contract, right? We didn't sign no contract saying, hey, you need to stay out of what's going on because, we're doing a reality show and we need these girls running amok and pulling each other's weave out and throwing, cocktails and all that stuff, talking trash, getting into fisticuffs because it's good for ratings, right? But you're not that. You're a regular human being with a phone, and you're standing on the side of the street, and you're catching or capturing these horrific moments. Sometimes sometimes you are capturing somebody's worst moment ever, or in this case, you are witnessing and capturing somebody's last moment on this planet. So why sit behind and do nothing? Just commentary for your video. Just commentary for your video. And I get it. I'll dive in a little bit more on what I'm trying to say here, because I understand there's the opposing side of the situation as well. And I will get to that in just a little bit. But we, of course, have got to look at this particular article right here. And this is no joke. Horrific moment. Man casually loads his firearm and then executes homeless man on St. Louis sidewalk with, you see the rest. And this man is the suspect, the man who did this, 23 years old, y'all. He don't look 23. Another horde 23. Like I said, don't do drugs, kids. Okay? But again, you have somebody who went out, apparently was having some sort of altercation or disagreement with a man who happens to be homeless. All right? They walked across the street. Like the homeless man walked across the street, basically kind of trying to avoid whatever BS he was having between him and the suspect. This monster, in my personal opinion. He sits on the curb, and we're going to see a bit of it. We're not seeing the video. Like, we're not going to see the whole video. I'm going to show you 2 seconds of the very beginning of the video. The rest is history, okay? So I'm going to explain it to you now so that when I do show you the 3 seconds, you understand at least a glimpse of what you were about to see. And it's all over Twitter. Trust me, you won't miss it, okay? And no, I'm not going to show it. Hell no. I couldn't. Not on this platform, okay? And nor would I. But this guy, Horde 23, decides to pull out his weapon. And in doing so, he's fussing with it. He's fumbling with it. He's fussing with it whilst homeless man is sitting on the curb, chilling. Clearly there was something up. Maybe he was wondering what the heck was going on. This homeless man was wondering what he was doing. But this entire time, you can see him fumbling with something in his hands. Horde 23. I'm just going to call him Horde 23 from this point on. Or Monster. You know, I like to call these guys monsters too. So he's fumbling. Then you can kind of see like he gets the magazine in what looks like a firearm, right? And he's trying to cock it. He's successful. Then you see the homeless man who's sitting on the ground, by the way, sitting on the curb, kind of do one of these things. Because, of course, he sees a firearm in his hand, in this guy's hand, in Horde 23's hand. This man, not even 3 feet away from this guy. Horde 23 has the gun, takes aim, pulls the trigger. No kidding. This is all caught on video. Now, you heard me say, you know, we can sit here all day long and make us like we can all make believe that because we're holding these phones, we have no place except to capture someone's worst moment of all time, or in this case, someone's last moment on this planet. We suddenly feel like we're behind the fourth wall, that we are not emotionally connected to the situation. Suddenly we're just this weird fly on the wall, right? I'm telling you all this right now because in this video, or because this whole thing that I just described to you is captured on tape. It's captured on a phone. As a guy is narrating, because he's hoping that he's about to catch some sort of world star hip hop moment. World star, you know what I'm saying? He was really, really hoping that he was going to get some crazy viral moment, seeing a man fight another man on the side of the street. And, he'll be like, oh, look at these idiots, wrestling, mad at each other too. And I don't know if the man who did this horrific thing to this other homeless man, I don't know if that guy was homeless or not, but still, this man that was holding this phone and narrating every single bit of it, he watched this man load the gun. He knew exactly what this guy was doing. No worries about fear for himself or the guy that was in the same vicinity, sitting on the curb of the sidewalk. Zero cares for that man either. There was no, hey man, hey, nothing. Hey man, put down the gun, man. No man, stop. Nothing. Zero. Nothing. This man was just narrating the daggam. I'm trying to curse and I don't want to curse, but the damn thing. Okay. What does this world come to? That we are so disconnected that we can't even realize when somebody's about to get erased? That we don't even say anything. We just stay behind the camera and then finally have a moment where you get shook into reality. That's when you suddenly wake up and go, oh my God, he just did that. He just killed that dude. Pretty crazy stuff. And if you don't believe me, let's take a few seconds to take a look at the few beginning moments of this video. Again, I'm not playing the whole dang thing. I'm only playing a small bit. But take a look at it with your own eyes, and you will hear a guy narrate. You're going to be narrating up in this mug, baby. And do you hear him at all try to interject, try to stop the situation from happening? I'm telling you, He does not. Let me show you.
It sounded like a fucking, I said that was a gunshot.
Language.
I didn't hear it. I mean, maybe it did shot, but it seems fine. No blood.
Yeah, there it goes. No.
And I'm stopping it right there. I'm not playing any further. Okay? It doesn't get any better. Okay? It just gets a lot worse. Okay? But this is, what is it? 10 more seconds, and then this man will no longer exist. His soul will leave his body because of the guy in the yellow jacket, the yellow and blue jacket, feels like he could just go and do this. And it's captured on tape. Now, I'm let me also say this too really quick, okay? I'm not sitting here trying to say that it's all this cameraman's fault. I'm not. What just blows my mind is that there was no interjection at all. No one stepped forward to say, what the heck is going on? Hey, man, stop. No one stopped this guy. He clearly has a gun in his hand. Did anyone call 911? Again, did anyone call 911? They all just stood there and watched as this man's life is snuffed out. Again, reason why I bring this up is because this is what we see. We're seeing two different dynamics here at the same time. We're seeing both. We're seeing two things. It's pretty amazingly sad to point that out. But we're seeing two different things right here. Let me break it down for you. One, we're seeing somebody take another person, zero dams on human life, even his life, even this homeless man's life. He thinks it's waste. It's wasted. I'm going to erase him, right? So he does that. Then the other thing, you have somebody else who's seeing that. Fourth wall, holding the phone behind the fourth wall. That he's so disconnected that he's more concerned about getting the content in his phone than he is about trying to see if he can help this homeless man or maybe stop this man from getting arrested and thrown in jail for M. More concerned about the content than the actual human lives that are being displayed on the video that he's filming. And we see this all the time. We see this all the time. Every time we see a fight break out, a high school fight break out between a teacher and a student, what do we see? What do we see? Very few times do we actually see kids just drop what they're doing and jump in to stop their friend from losing their minds or unleashing on a teacher. Most of the time, they're going, filming the entire time. Oh, snap, the entire time. And then guess what? That gets put on WorldStar. That's thrown all over the internet. It becomes a viral video. It becomes content for people to talk about, like myself, sitting here going, what the hell is going on with this world? Instead of what everybody should be doing is putting down the doggone phone and interject. Stop this kind of stuff from happening. Again, two different things. And I'm only talking about the phone, which also could be a deadly weapon, or it can be a savior. So damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? But let's talk about the guy who actually did the crime. Let's talk about the guy. Because I know there's a lot of people that think, oh, they saw the video, they're sitting there going, oh, no, this can't be real. This must be fake as hell. Well, I got some news for you, buddy. This ish be real. Take a look. Now, I already said all this stuff, but this suspect is 23 years old and he is being charged with M right now as we speak. Okay? This horrific moment. Man casually loads a handgun, executes homeless man on a St. Louis sidewalk. And let me tell you this too. We are hearing stories like this everywhere. It's not only just in St. Louis. This ain't it only in my hometown, okay? This is happening in every corner of the world. We are seeing so many random stories of absolute carnage where people are just walking up and pulling triggers on either homeless people or just innocent lives. They could be walking down the street and then somebody goes up and just pulls the trigger. Why? Because they just feel like it. That person doesn't even know them from a can of paint. And that person's still losing their life. I talked about this morning, and then I opened up my phone. I'm so serious. And I saw this story and I was like, I'm going to talk about this. But then we had news about Brian Koberger. So I was like, I'm just going to hold on this for a little bit and I'm going to talk about it as soon as I can. And now I'm talking about it right now, right? But it's pretty wild how often we hear these stories, how often we see these things unfold in front of us. And yet still, we see things like this, and sometimes there's no help, even when there is help right there. Even when there's help right there. It's right there, especially in that video. He around the corner. He not 20 feet from these guys. And not once did he say anything because he was too concerned about content. And then you got this guy who has zero damns about human life, messing with a firearm that probably he just got, okay, illegally, because you could tell that thing was jamming up like crazy. For some odd reason, it wasn't working. And yet he loads up that gun, cocks it, pulls the trigger. Again, zero damns. Zero damns. But I'm sorry. Let me continue on. All right. So the incident occurred yesterday outside the Globe building. Harrowing footage shared online shows, and I'm going to say this man's name only once, but this monster's name, Horde 23, his name is Deshaun Thomas. That is the man that was behind the gun. All right. Standing behind the homeless victim as he sits on the sidewalk with his hands covering his ears. After around 20 seconds, the gunman loaded his gun and shot the man in point blank range. And you can see right there, I'm just, there's the still. Why this happened? I'm still trying to figure that out, ladies and germs. Witness said they saw the pair fighting outside the Shell gas station further up the street moments earlier. So they were having an altercation. Whatever they were fighting about, I don't know. Okay. Thomas, who's now charged with first-degree M, fled the scene and was arrested after entering a public library later that afternoon. It remains unclear if Thomas, who has a forehead tattoo and neck tattoo, has a criminal record, or if he was out on bond or probation at the time of yesterday's shooting. Frightened St. Louis residents say it is proof that local leaders, including Soros, including Soros-backed progressive circuit attorney Kim Gardner, do not have a handle on the escalating crime. Now, let me say this really quick before this gets all political here. This is beyond politics. This is what I think. Now, I know some of y'all might disagree with me on that, but I think this is beyond politics. Things have gone crazy out here. This has nothing to do with Circuit Attorney Kim Gardner or not. Crime is happening because crime is happening. People have give zero damns about life, period. Period. Then you could sit here and say on many places, we could sit here and talk about what's going on or what happened in Uvalde, all the other places, the multitude of mass tragedies that we have seen recently, okay? In so many states, blue and red states, we've lost many of our kids. This has nothing to do with politics. But of course, they will take this as an opportunity to try to spin things around as much as possible. We're beyond that, y'all. We're beyond that. You think this dude grabbed the gun, loaded it up, and did what he did because he feels some type of way about, I don't know, Marjorie Taylor Greene? No, he didn't. This is a person who just did not give a damn about human life. There was no political bias when he bought that gun. Zero. And I hate when people try to spin it in some messed up way. Oh, it's because of the Soros. Shut up. Everybody out here needs to live their life the best way they can without having to dodge bullets. Period. These bullets do not have, most of the time, except for this time, it seemed, a lot of these mass tragedies that we're seeing, these bullets do not have names written on them, made specifically for those people to lose their lives. So miss me with that nonsense. Just saying, miss me with that political BS. That is not going to solve our issue by pointing blame. It's not. We don't give a damn anymore, y'all. We really don't give a damn. It's insane to me. You really got people out here walking around and not caring. And I've talked about this a million times before. Okay? I've talked about this a million times before. There are guys out here that will just shoot all up the club, literally, over their scuffed sneakers. You really think they're thinking about politics? I'm just saying, you really thinking they're thinking about politics? You think they give a damn about politics when they're angry because somebody spilled a Cosmo on their brand new white Air Force Ones? I doubt it. I doubt it. Let me continue. Shoot. Bell, neither do I. Neither do I. Okay? Hey, and I love people. I love hanging out. I like to kick it just like any other person. I like to celebrate life and all that stuff too. But man, people are acting a doggone, they're just acting too crazy. And I feel other people are too busy holding their phones to lend out a helping hand so we can all get out to safety. They're too busy getting the perspective. Yeah, I was there. I got the whole footage, but it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you some footage, some money for the footage. Man. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. And Comrade V, let me say this. I wouldn't debate him. I would just have a conversation with him. Why a debate? We can all have our thoughts and have a good conversation. And we can also have a conversation and also agree to disagree. You see what I'm saying? And there's certain things that he says that I do agree with. And then there's other things that he says I don't agree with. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's just how it is, right? But I digress. There's no need for a debate. But maybe we could talk and find maybe through that discussion, it's like, whoa, we actually agree on this, right? But let's continue. All right. This is broad daylight. Have we seen enough? Why can't we can't sugarcoat this anymore? It's time for STL to do some soul searching. In fact, it's time for the entire world to do some soul searching. Actually, it's at least for right now, it's time for America to start doing some serious soul searching right now. Because outside of all the true crime stories and the missing kid stories and all that I cover and all that, there is still a lot of tragedy that is happening because of someone misusing a firearm. Not mishandling, misusing. There's a difference. And yet we talk about this all the time, and we have our leaders in our respective corners of the world all saying the same BS. We're all sitting here saying, this is in broad daylight. Have we seen enough? We can't sugarcoat this any longer. It's time for us to do some serious soul searching. Do you know how many times we heard that? Let me tell you this. Do you know how many times we heard that in the last 8 weeks? 8 weeks, y'all. 8. Do you understand? Tomorrow's the first of the month. You know what I'm saying? 1st of March. March Madness for all you college basketball freaks out there. Great. I'm excited for you. But at the same time, do you know how many like incidents we've seen? Mainly mass tragedies that we've seen in just 8 weeks. I mean, I lost count, guys. I lost count, but I've said this before. I'm sorry. I know I sound like a broken record right now, but we've heard that broken record song over and over again, and yet we still don't have anything change. This is in my backyard. I'm telling you. This is in my neck of the woods. And ain't nothing changed that I've seen so far. But again, what do we do? Because as citizens of this wonderful world that we live in, what do we do? And I'm being dead ass. I'm asking y'all, what do we do as citizens? Because I know we can't stop. I mean, if I was there, I would have been screaming at this dude. Okay? I would have been screaming at the dude. At least, shoot, I would have called 911 while screaming at the dude. But what can we do? What can we do to change things? Because again, that homeless man didn't deserve this. I appreciate Tyler saying that. You just caught my eye. And thank you for saying this. See, you said I was slightly disagreeing that it has nothing to do with politics. Policy choices lead to these bad decisions. Really, though? Because I want you to realize that there are people like us, regular, law-abiding citizens for the most part. We all know, like, that me in my life, I would never think of like actually grabbing a gun and then doing this. But yet there are people out there that would think that, regardless if this was the cleanest street in the world or not, right? So there needs to be some sort of change in the way of thought, in the way of that we think things. Now, I don't know if this is a mental health situation either. Or, I mean, in a way, there's got to be some sort of psychological break if you're about to just go and do something like this. There's got to be. No person in their right mind, okay, in their even thinking mind, thinks that by erasing a human life from the planet is okay. And if they do think that, then something's not right mentally, right? But if we changed policies and all that, sure, that's definitely great. But if there is still a disregard for human life, which we have been seeing countless times, we're still going to see this. But it'll still be pointing the finger at the lack of those policies, or those policies need to be tighter. You see what I'm saying? And I agree, there needs to be change. There needs to be a change. Okay. But I'm just thinking a little bit outside the box a little bit. Okay. I'm just jumping off the reservation for a second and just thinking outside the box a little bit. Because it's more than just policy and more than just politics. It all is about the state of mind and the frame of mind that we live in. Because there's two very messed up things that are happening here. One obviously is a lot more grim, of course, than the other, but still, if you notice, there were people sitting there allowing this to happen, allowing it. And this man literally believed that he had the right to do this to this homeless man. That's insane to me. And that's beyond policy. That's beyond politics. This is all the frame of mind and how we look at things and how we treat each other as human beings on this planet. It's beyond that, y'all. It's beyond that. Because I tell you, there are guys out here that are doing mass tragedies that are super lib or super conservative, etc. They're spanning the globe, but it's the lack of care and lack of heart, compassion for the human spirit, for a human life that they all have in common. So let me continue here. And I might sound crazy. Maybe I'm sound crazy. But at the same time, I am just so tired. I am so tired. I am tired. Y'all, I'm tired. I'm tired of talking about this kind of stuff. And we can always bring in the best person that we think is going to change things, and they're going to wax political and give us false hopes most of the time. And then they get into office and then they do nothing. And then we still have issues like this, where crime continues to go rampant. People are still losing their lives. I don't know. There just needs to be something else. Something else needs to change. But let me continue. This is Horde 23, by the way. That's Horde 23. Horde 23. Like I said. Come on, y'all. I don't need to say the sentence. You already know. Oh, and by the way, for those of y'all who think, oh, this is fake, it's a fake video, it was viral because it's fake. No, it's real. Oh, it most definitely is real. And if you don't believe me, I'd like to hear it. Here we go.
New search this afternoon for the person who shot a man to death outside a downtown St. Louis gas station. Police say it was just after 10 o'clock this morning. A man was found shot in the head near Tucker and Linden Street. Investigators tell us the person shot didn't have a home. Witnesses told them what led to the shooting.
From witnesses, we have that there was some kind of altercation. This began across the street past the gas station and then came over to this location. Shots were fired and the victim was chased across the street and shot at this location.
That is a real story, y'all. That is very much a real story. This man lost his life because somebody didn't give a damn. And you know what, Tyler? Here it is, Tyler. Yeah, and you're right. Okay, I'm glad you agree that we need compassion. But you're saying if you honestly believe things like this will stop happening if people just simply are nicer to each other, then you're sorely mistaken. Now, I appreciate your reality. Okay, I appreciate your skepticism. That's not the right word. I appreciate you having a solid foot on reality ground, on a realistic plane, right? I get it. Absolutely. I'm not sitting here saying that, oh man, we're all just one. And if we could just smoke weed and just be together as one, man, we could just, it's all about love, man. Peace and love, man. I'm not a hippie. I ain't dumb. I do agree, yes, that there needs to be a combination of both, okay? But at the same time, when you see things that are happening out here in these streets, a lot of times man, Tyler, you know what I mean? I wish we could too, baby. You know what I'm saying? Let's just all do LSD and say everything's cool. I'm lying. Don't do that. But you know what I'm saying? Just wish it was that easy, right? So I do, just on a realistic point, yes, there needs to be policies. Yes, there needs politics as a part of it. But when a guy is on the street doing what he did, there is no politics with him. He's not thinking politically. He's just doing whatever he wants because that's how he feels. And that's where his mental state is. Now, if there were stronger and stricter policies, yes, absolutely. There'd be a different change. There'd be something different, right? There'd be something different. But we don't have that. But I do think it's jacked up. And it is one thing that we see all the time. Okay. And it's the same procedure, broken record, where they're too busy trying to spin the blame on the other guy. So it'll be, see, even my dog concurs. He's like, yeah, man. Tell him, Dad. They are too busy trying to spin the fingers like this. Spin the problem. They're all the king and queens of spin. Okay? They're the masters of spin. As soon as something like this happens, that's when they go, see, that's why your leader's not doing everything what they're supposed to do, such and such and such and such. It's their fault. No, it's their fault. It doesn't matter. Because if Kim Gardner was Republican or whatever, it doesn't matter. It'd be the same BS. They'd be pointing the blame right at her. So that's why I say it's ridiculous when they sit there and try to put the blame game on and say, oh, yeah, it's because of these, the politics that they did. Nah. Man, right now, they are still trying to push. For example, remember Tyree Nichols? Okay. They're still trying to push the George Floyd Act, right? Which has to do with cops. Do you know how long they've been trying to do that for? Years. It fell apart. Now they're trying to reconstruct it because now they have that now they're trying to have, now they're using the Tyree Nichols situation to give it some new legs and maybe try to get that act out there, right? Try. So when you talk about these policies, I'm wondering, these other policies, there's a lot of old heads, whole lot of old heads that either need to go along with the time or they need to be voted out or they just need to be straight up voted out. But then you have people that are hardcore, right? That lean towards their audience and know that certain parts of the world likes things a certain way, right? And they're going to do all that they can to lean on that so that they can continue getting the votes and stay in office. We're seeing it all the time. Same people that will sit there and create the same BS approach about things, being like, oh yeah, I'm a gun-toting, loving America guy that, thank you for the armed forces, America. Apple pie, American cheese. And everybody on the conservative side goes, crazy, right? Then you got the Democrats as well. Do the same thing, except it's just different, right? They all lean towards their parties. But as soon as they get voted in, as soon as they win and they have they pop the champagne and all that stuff, how much change is actually going on? A lot of times it's just maintaining the status quo. And then they forget about all this stuff, except when it happens. And then they make their presence known and say, oh, yeah, I care about what's going on in the world. When are we going to make this stop? Well, you've had multiple opportunities to make this stop, and you haven't. So when are you going to do what needs to be done so that we can have these massacres stop? But until then, something needs to be figured out. Something needs to be figured out. Because the complete disregard for human life is at an all-time high. And what's crazy to me is don't worry, I'm not blaming games or anything, but it seems as if they think that, just by, pulling this trigger, it's fine. He has 5 more lives. No, it's not. As soon as you do that, that guy's gone. The crime has gotten so bad. It's unspeakable. So that's why I keep asking. If we aren't going to have policies, right? If we are not going to have policies that are actually going to change, at least for now, if we're going to just maintain the status quo forever, what can we do as humans, as citizens of our respective countries or wherever you live? What can we do? What can we do to change those things or to stop these things from continually happening? Because let me say this too. It wasn't like this. It wasn't like this a few years ago. It's gotten worse. And the policies, guess what? They've been the same for the most part. So why is it happening now? And why has it gotten worse? And what can we do to stop that? Or, I understand you can't stop it at a dead halt. That's pretty much impossible because crime happens every freaking half second of every day. But what can we do? Right? What can we do to slow it down? That's it. I'm a realist. I'm realistic. And yes, I know I can easily just go, peace and love, man. You know what I mean? Easy. I could do that too. But I'm a realistic man. And I do know that there's not a lot that's going on right now, or that to actually do anything about it. We just look at it and go, oh, no, that's so sad. Games, life, whatever. And we do nothing. We do nothing to change it. So, and again, this guy, they don't know as of yet if he was a repeat offender or anything of that sort, because I see Zebedee just said this, and this is a good point too. Keep people locked up for violent crimes. Damn right, I agree too. Right? A lot of times they get in, they spit them back out within a day or two, and then they're back on the streets out there doing more bad. But that doesn't solve all of it. That's just one thing. So, hey, Kui, hopefully I'm saying that. Kui Kinney, thank you so much for becoming a member. Welcome to the family. Thank you so much. Thank you. And just like Kui, hopefully I'm saying your name right, you can join the family by hitting that join button down below. All right. If you enjoy the conversations, it helps keep the lights on and all that sugary goodness. All right. And, and the thing is like we, every, like, I feel like I do this every, like once a week, right? That we have these hard conversations, right? Especially when it has to do with a mass tragedy or a tragedy like this. But I do appreciate it. I do like having these conversations with y'all, because I mean, you guys are the ones that we are all the ones that change. If we all work together, we're the ones who can change how we look at certain things, how we vote, what our policies should be, what they shouldn't be, how we look at mental health, mental wellness, and all that. It all comes from us, right? So I appreciate that. Tam Jules just said, honestly, I'm not American. I'm a Canuck. Okay, so Canadia, thank you. Kind of in the same hood. I see how all the hurting is going on. It's sad. Canada may be mild, but we have issues too. And I see my neighbors hurting. I care. Yeah. I know that we don't really talk much about the loft over the really good party. Sorry, Canada. But I know you guys have your own set of issues as well. Maybe there's not as much violence like this. I mean, America is known for this more than anything else, without a shadow of a doubt. But it's also just keep having those conversations with the people, your neighbors, the people that are around you, the people that you care for, getting involved in groups and stuff like that, would help, right? At least I would think that. But, and Canada's dope. I'm just kidding, I'm just kidding. Canada's fantastic. But you guys don't have as much of issues like this. We are just known for it. I mean, and I've said it before, it's synonymous to apple pie and American cheese. Now, you hear, my country, 'tis of thee, and it's pop, 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 AR-15s. I mean, it's just like that, It's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. Rage Romantic said, thank you so much for the comments, guys. I do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Maybe it's not gotten worse. Maybe it's just more people have the ability to record and have a platform to show atrocities with a bigger population than ever. There's more criminals per people. And you know what? You may be right, Rage. You may be right. Technology is a hell of a thing. I mean, we've been seeing things with police brutality videos, etc., more than ever than we've ever seen before. I can see that maybe something like that could very well be real, right? It could very well be that situation of, because we got phones, because we got World Star and all that stuff, YouTubes and live streaming the Twitches and all that, it's very easy for us to see those things right in our face now instead of just hearing it in a newspaper article. And if you really think about it, back in the day, it was the newspaper article and maybe the news. And if it was on the news, it was on the news for 5 seconds and then it would never be seen again because the internet didn't exist then, right? Or if it was in a newspaper, it'd just be like a little paragraph, right? Homeless man shot and, you know what I mean? That is true. You are right. I remember having that conversation with somebody who called in asking, why am I seeing these things more often? Well, how am I, these now things are popping out in my face. And I did say, one of the reasons why you're seeing more police brutality videos, not only because you've finally have opened your eyes a little bit and realized those exist, they are also getting filmed. We got police body cam footage. We have bystanders that are holding their phones. They have security cams and sky cops that are filming these things as well. It's hard to completely avoid violence now. Now we're seeing it and we're consuming it on our idiot box. This is the new idiot box, by the way. At least that's what I call it. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, check out Bamboozled. Great movie. But see, that's the issue, right? That's the issue. We do see a lot of this more often. And of course, I mean, it's hard to avoid it. Because understandably, we need to understand the harsh realities of the world that we live in. But then at the same time, we see it too much. I do think that. And no, I'm not thinking that everything should be Barney and Blue's Clues. Okay? Hell no. But it is right in our face all the time. And then on top of that, let's talk about this for 2 seconds. How do kids believe that they have the right to get into fisticuffs with their own educators? Where did that start? Where did that start, y'all? High school students going toe-to-toe with their teachers. Some people getting gravely injured. Okay? Severely injured, I'm sorry. Some kids getting hurt too. But where did that happen? How did that happen? You see what I'm saying? And suddenly now it's a thing that we see everywhere. And again, you have people who are grabbing their phones and not paying attention to the actual content or the moment that they're actually turning into content. Instead of them actually going, oh my God. Mikey's fighting Mr. Smith. What the hell is going on? Stop, Mike. Everyone's like, yeah, oh, the haymakers. World Star. Someone make that make sense. I don't know why that is. It's interesting. I've seen so many different videos that I don't even know anymore. Maybe I did cover a little kid swearing at authority at some authority figure. I think maybe I did. Hamburger. It's been so long. It's been so long. Okay. Yeah. Live and learn. What's up, man? But yeah, live and learn. Instead of calling the Poe, they call him World Star. Real talk. And this is the reason why that I was so frustrated. Not only that we need to figure out what the hell we're doing and how we can do this better or how we can become better or go back. And I'm not saying that we need to retract or go backwards. Like we have as people have made some big strides. I like to believe, you know, I'm a glass half full dude for the most part. But there's so much there's such a journey that we still have to walk on, right? We still have many miles before we sleep. But with all the things that we are getting, it just seems in places that we are progressing, we are digressing in certain places too. And I guess, you know, I'm just putting out the question. How do we make it better? How do we do better? Because this situation of a bystander watching all of this unfold, he was slowly loading this gun and nothing. And this man who was holding the phone did nothing. And I get the fear. I get being scared. I get that. And you don't want him pointing it at you. Of course, I get that. But you could have called 911. Something, right? Something could have been done instead of standing there and filming this and letting this be a video that's probably been seen. This one says 5.7 million views. No one needs to see this man getting his life taken from this planet in this fashion. But this is how disconnected we have become as a people that I've noticed. Bell just said it's 7.9 billion souls. Yes. And every single last one of them is precious. And I'm not trying to get all like holier than thou or anything. You know, I'm not sitting here saying the power of Christ compels you and mopping my brow. And you know what I'm saying? I am not saying, can I get a witness? I am not saying any of that stuff. I'm just saying we are precious, every single last one of us. And we need to bring that back, that realization that we are all precious. This has nothing to do with faith. Nothing. If you want to throw faith in it, by all means, go on, baby. That's on you. Whatever makes you feel good, right? Inside. But for me, this is regular human condition. We all should know that every single last one of us on this planet is precious. And yeah, even the haters, even the ones you don't like, okay, they're precious too. And that's it. And if there was more realization of that, maybe that we wouldn't be having this kinds of stuff. And this is real selfish too, y'all. I will say this too. That is real selfish. Period. Like, okay, outside of the man with the gun, because that's insane and that's disgusting. And this dude's a monster. And I hope they throw him that prison and they throw away the key. Put him in a very, very dark place. Please. But the person that's holding the phone is selfish too. That is very selfish. Extremely. Self-centered and selfish. I'm sorry. I'll pull a phone out and film something when it's something funny in my life that's going on, or if it's a moment that I want to remember for the rest of my life. I am not filming someone fighting. In fact, you'll see me in the film. If somebody else is filming it and I'm seeing two people fight, I'm jumping in that thing and trying to stop the fight. On God, that's what I do. That's what I do. Because I don't want people getting hurt. And like if y'all in the bar and y'all kicking in stuff and y'all get into some sort of thing like this, I'm trying to stop that stuff from happening. We can all just grab a drink and laugh about it 2 seconds later. Just chill the F out and put the phone down. No one needs to see that. But we are all about that toxicity, guys. We are all about that toxicity. It's just something to think about. I know that doesn't solve everything. I know that doesn't change policies. I know that doesn't stop the violence that's going on here in these streets. But if somebody's hearing this, maybe before they pick up that gun, they will hear what I'm saying here. And they'll reconsider. Anyway, guys, that's the show. I appreciate all y'all for being here. I appreciate all y'all. Seriously. It's nice to have a conversation with y'all without like severe judgment or it turning into something else. Okay. It is, I really do enjoy these kind of conversations. I just wish more of y'all would be interested in those kind of conversations. But it won't stop me. I'm still going to have these conversations, whether it's 2 people here or 2 million people watching. It does not matter. Because these conversations do matter. And we need to have this kind of crap stop. And if I keep talking about it, maybe it'll catch on. Maybe it'll be like the next trending thing, right? Again, I'm just a hopeful mother lover. Okay. Leah MT, thank you so much. Thanks, Pascal. No easy answers. It's good to have a place to talk things out. Have a good night, all. Yes, Leah. I agree. Redhead Riding Hood. No, thank you. I appreciate all y'all for listening. Okay. Man, wouldn't that be wild, Tyler? Black guy goes viral in hopeful speech. Wouldn't that be dope? You know what I'm saying? Something different other than just some BS about, I don't know, some toxic BS. This is what a man's supposed to do. And when it comes to a woman, this is what a woman has to do for the man. Right? Instead of those viral videos that we see all the time. I'm so tired of seeing those videos too, y'all. I'm just going to keep it straight 100. I'm going to keep it a buck with y'all. I'm so tired of seeing those. Listen, bro. And they all got shades on, wearing something leather, and they're all saying the same stuff. Like, stop. Just stop. This is what a man's supposed to do, and a man's supposed to be like this with a woman. And if the woman does this, but stop. Just stop. Oh. Ooh. Okay, left turn, but that's fine. I just did a left turn about people talking about how a man's supposed to be in a woman's book. Anyway, I think Koberger may have been scoping out. Ooh. Very interesting. I'm interested to see that. If you got some information, send it my way, Melissa, because I want to see that proof too. Okay. Real talk. That is very fascinating. Okay. Wait, you mean you talking about Popcorn Planet? Oh, wow, that's insane. Wow. So, okay, I need to check that out. Was this the, Melissa, was that the recent episode? That must have been insane. Holy cow. It was an interview? That was an interview, Melissa? Man, I need to see that. That is some wild-ish. Wow, Melissa. Okay, you just threw my world into a spiral. That's insane. But that's what's up. I heard something about it being not the truth. So it's interesting to hear that. I'm going to look for that when I get done with this. But again, guys, thank you guys so much for being here and being a part of the conversation. Without you guys, it would not be a show. I'd be talking to a wall. So it's nice to have these hard conversations with all y'all. Okay. So please do me a favor, hit that like button down below. You know your boy's working hard. So hit that like button down below. It helps with the algorithm too, so the story gets out there a little bit more. That would really, really mean a lot. And of course, if you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe button, baby. Okay? We talk about everything. Politics, true crime, pop culture. We even do celebrity interviews. You name it, everything on this show. So please hit that subscribe button. It'd be great to have you a part of the Pascal Show family. And of course, for those of y'all who already are subscribed, consider hitting that join button down below. All right? It'd be greatly, greatly appreciated. Anyway, guys, it is time for me to get going. All right? Love y'all selves. All right? Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys very, very soon. Oh, and I do have a pop-up video coming up in a little bit, so be on the lookout for that. Because I know whenever I go past like 3 uploads in a day, it just kind of falls in the corner. All right. So be on the lookout for that. And it's much lighter. I promise you that. It's a much lighter topic. All right. Appreciate you guys. See you guys soon. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.